Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late August, early September 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Gemini collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's see what's going on, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for Gemini, please? And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. So let's get it going here. Let's rock. What do we got for Gemini, please, my guides? What's up? Thank you. Okay. Very creative type of energy. I really like this, my friends. It's all about creating new things. This is a really good way to start off every type of reading. If you look at all the different models and the creative pursuits and endeavors, we'll get into that though. It's about a very luscious mindset. Before we really dive into that though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about it. So in this card, you see pictured, obviously, the art model. There's paintings, there's sculptures, there's all sorts of these creative endeavors, like I said. So first and foremost, to me, this is all about a very creative mindset, mind state. So for a lot of you, maybe it will be a very beneficial time for you to start anything new or brainstorm. This is a really good card for ideas. Now, this type of energy could swing in both directions. It's very good for creativity and new things, but at the same time, this is a card that can be prone to overthinking, over planning. So in this time, and I've been seeing it for a lot of signs in recent weeks, a lot of people have been extra active mentally, and this card still depicts that. So if you do have a lot on your mind, if you're thinking about a lot, even if your thoughts are running in some sort of way, even if they're not, this is Spirit asking you to like let off some steam and possibly release this mental etheric energy and bring it into the physical world in some way. Now, everybody has creative gifts in one way or another, right? Some people are good at instruments, some people can draw, some people could write, some people could just create stories. Whatever it might be to you, Spirit wants you to use that as fuel to really think up new things and go in new directions. It's a beautiful energy. Just don't overthink. But let's get into tarot. I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. I'm going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright before we get that intuitive juiciness going. So let's shuffle it up one time here for you, Gemini. Let's see what we got as we're moving on into September. And while we do, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled Big Win Incoming. So I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes, whether it's monetary, whether it's relationships, whether it's personal victories, stuff like that. There was very good positive energy, and it's been that way for a few weeks for Gemini. It's been like a nice upswing. So even if you've been going through some tough things, like energetically, there's still positivity looming around you. So we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your energy, your vibe, or someone you're linked to. Let's get you 3 cards. What do we got for Gemini, please, my guides? Yeah, even going back like 2-3 weeks, like the energy's been really nice. Okay, so we do have some fiery action happening here. We have the Ace of Wands in position number 1. I always like to start off with a bang, and that card definitely does that. Let's get you 2 more. What do we have for Gemini, please? Okay, interesting. So 2 cards popped out together. We have the Page of Pentacles in the center. So we have 2 big cards of communication here. We're going to have to talk about this a little more. Let me line these up. But at the very end, we have the card of the week, it seems, because it's been showing up for a lot of signs. We got the 4 of Wands in the last position. So there is a lot of communication here, my friends. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, and we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first glance, I looked down at this spread. Obviously, I mentioned the double fire on the extreme ends. So whenever we get a lot of fire, I know you know about this, it's all about movement, motivation, action. This is an extremely action-oriented type of vibe we're picking up here so far, even with the Page of Pentacles in the center. Lots of new energy as well. So this is going to be very interesting. And I always say fire could be very good or bad. It could be a lot of action, get up and go, motivation, but it could also be volatile. So let's go through one by one and start to piece the story together. Position number 1, the Ace of Wands. the first card in the fire suit. So we're starting with a bang, we're starting with a boom. As with all aces, they represent opportunities. So for a lot of you, there could be new opportunities coming in for you, a lot of new things. Like I said with the Oracle card, now would be a great time for any new pursuits or endeavors when this shows up. And then even with the page there. With aces, I also do say they're communication cards, especially next to a page. So we do have conversations, messages, and talking that we're going to have to take a deeper look at. With the Ace of Wands, once again, just with all fire, it could be motivational, lots of boom and get up and go, but it could also be a little out of hand. Another little sub note with this Ace of Wands, you personally might be feeling a little more fiery, right? This could also represent one's libido, so you might be a little more wound up than normal, but we're not going to go into detail on that. All right, this is a family program. Let's keep it moving. So we have the Page of Pentacles right here in the center. Love it. Could represent an earth sign. This could represent a child. It could represent somebody younger. You take your pick on how it might apply to you. And as with all pages, they're all students. They're all messengers. This one is particularly good for new work, learning new subjects, new expertise, new business, since it is of the Pentacle suit. This is one of my bigger cards of the written message, like text messages, written message. So when I get this Page of Pentacles next to an Ace of Wands, there could be a lot of conversing, talking, that whether it's a lot of people hitting you up or you want to hit other people up, we'll have to see what the theme of these conversations could be. But the pages are good. A downside to the pages, sometimes they lose their direction. Sometimes this could be somebody that loses their direction, loses their motivation. A page could sometimes even be bashful, so there might be someone in a situation you're going through where they're very shy, they're very bashful for some reason. We'll just leave it at that. Moving to the very back end, we have the Four of Wands, one of my favorite cards, the 1111. Beautiful. So as with all cards, or every time I see this card, I say watch out for the signs, synchronicities from Spirit. Spirit might be trying to show you omens or speak to you in various different ways, whether it's through the number signs, synchronicities, or even dreams. When we see the Four of Wands, it's a card of celebration, get-togethers, large groupings of people celebrating something. So this card often shows up in regards to weddings, baptisms, births, you name it, birthday parties, stuff like that. So we do think of celebration in some form or fashion. So this card could once again represent wins and victories, triumphs. Other themes that we think of when we see this Four of Wands, aside from the two that I mentioned, it's very sturdy, it's very stable. This card could represent your family, it could represent your home, and your roots, like where you are rooted. So we're going to want to get a lot more detail specifically on this Four of Wands. But I'm getting a decent vibe so far, but that could change because there's so much fire here. Okay, so we're really going to want to dive deeper on all this, Gemini. So let's do that. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for my Geminis, please. Guides and Spirit team. What do we got going on for my friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that Ace of Wands? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind. All right, Ace of Wands time. Let's see what's up. Why is this Ace of Wands here? Thank you. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. Action. Big action. Just like I saw for you 2 weeks ago. Someone losing patience. Now let's get this going. Yeah, I'm done waiting. I want to make this happen. So whether this is you deciding to make a move, take an action, or somebody else, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse is like, I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not waiting anymore. I've waited long enough. I refuse to wait around. I refuse to dilly-dally. Kind of feels a little impatient to me in some sort of way. Now, I will also say this. For a lot of you, this could represent a karmic cycle, especially with the Ace of Wands. Now we have the Seven of Pentacles, even though it's in reverse. A lot of you could be at the borderline of kicking into a new karmic cycle of life where a lot of things could be changing. So I will say this, aside from what I already mentioned about the action, this could be some sort of big karmic change where Spirit could be telling you hey, you're about to move into a brand new cycle of life. Get ready for a lot of new experiences, get ready for a lot of new things in general when we have this. In this time, your patience might be running thin with a lot of things. Okay, it doesn't just have to be relationships, doesn't just have to be money. Like, I'm getting a little bit of an on edge type of energy. So we'll see how it plays out throughout the rest of this, because this on edge energy, it could manifest in a lot of different ways. Sometimes it could be anxiety or nerves, but we're going to keep moving. I do get that big karmic cycle or that karmic change shift type of energy. So let's see what's up with that page. I'm not waiting no more. That's another huge one I'm getting there. So let's see what's going on with that Page of Pentacles. And we'll keep it moving through here. So why is that page here for my Geminis, please? And we have this weird push and pull happening too. I just need to mention that. And we got your next card out. It's all Pentacles and fire. So there's like this push-pull, stop-go, back, forth. So hopefully you're not going through any conflicts or battles, because this could be somebody of two minds about something, like a little indecisive, like, no, I'm going to do it. Wait, maybe I should. I'm going to do it. Maybe not. There's a lot of indecisiveness. Okay. So underneath this Page of Pentacles, we have another court card. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody might not be too happy. That's what this is initially telling me. Someone could really open up some sort of big conversation about it. Okay, for a portion of you, this could be someone that comes in hot and heavy, and we're picking that up here, especially with the double court cards, big earth sign energy starting to show up. Generally, the Queen of Pentacles to me is a beautiful, abundant, grounded type of card. When I get her in reverse, very similar to this other Pentacle in reverse, I get somebody saying like, no, I'm not going to wait. We can't wait. We're going to talk about this now. We need to talk about this now. So it could be an explosive talk or conversation where someone either comes in hot or something just pops up out of nowhere. Like it feels very hot and heavy to me. And like I said, there's a back and forth. There's like a seesaw of energy. Okay, so just watch out. Like there could be some volatile conversations in the coming days and weeks, or someone's just going to hit you up out of the blue. That's the vibe I'm picking up here. Not super patient. That's the big vibe I'm picking up here. You might be clashing extra with earth signs in this time, or people with heavy earth alignment. So keep that in mind. But this Queen of Pentacles in reverse, like, it's moving. There's action. There's no waiting. Okay, so I'm getting the energy of someone coming in hot and heavy here. Let's move over to the Four of Wands. We'll see what's up with the Four of Wands, and we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Interesting stuff. Like, there's a lack of patience all around here. Okay, whether it's something you feel like you need to get off your chest, or someone wants to grab a hold of you and tell you something, like, it's a big vibe I'm picking up here. There's not a lot of patience involved. So let's see what's up with that Four of Wands, and we'll keep it moving. Interesting read, my friends. Thank you. Nine of Pentacles, grounding it down, beautiful. Good positive result in the end, though. Okay, even if this feels uncomfortable, moving too fast, a little volatile, the Nine of Pentacles under the Four of Wands, very good result in the end. This is a grounded, abundant type of energy, similar to this Queen of Pentacles, except this one is in the upright. For a portion of you, you might be wanting a little bit of liberty. This is a card of lone wolves or independence, so to speak. So for a lot of you, you might be feeling like you could do something on your own, or you want a little more independence, you want a little more agency, you want a little more say in what you're doing. However, when I get this underneath this Four of Wands, this is somebody that doesn't need a whole group of people to be happy. Okay, this is someone that can find happiness within themselves. So for a lot of you, there is a huge focus on the material here, and I will mention this. The fact that we have Pentacles and we have Wands, fire, these are my suits of the outer expressions. In tarot, to me, when I get cups and when I get swords, that's someone with a lot going on the inside. The Wands, the Pentacles, this is all outer expression. So for a lot of you, there could be really big causes for celebration. Once again, the wins and victories we've been seeing for a couple of weeks are still lingering here. But once again, the vibe I'm getting here on the back end is like, no, I could be happy. I don't need a million people around me to be happy. I could find happiness within myself. Like, that's a little sub message I'm picking up here. But once again, blessings could still come in. The end result of this action, end result of these conversations, these talks, are good ones, even if they're uncomfortable in the moment. So just know that. Let's go through and do a quick little recap, because we have a lot going on here, Gemini. In position number one, we have the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Like I said, this is someone that might be taking very sudden action on something, like, let's get this going. I'm tired of waiting. I've been waiting long enough. I'm ready. Let's move. So we're getting that big energy swinging here up front. It also felt karmic, especially with a new card and a karmic cycle card. So I did say, like, there could be a a rollover in the karmic shift you're going through in life, where you could be experiencing a lot of new things, new experiences coming up. In the center, we have the Page of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Communication might be a little spotty in this time. I get someone coming in hot and heavy. So whether they're angry or otherwise, like this might be someone in there feels like, you know, we've delayed this long enough. Let's talk about it. It could be an explosive talk where either someone comes in hot or it's a big hot and heavy back and forth. I'm picking that up big time. However, when we get to the back end, we have the Four of Wands with the Nine of Pentacles. The end result of all this will be very good. And this energy of wins and victories from the past couple of weeks are still lingering here, which I really, really like. And for a lot of you, there was that little sub-note message that this is someone that realizes that they don't need a whole group of people to be happy, that they can find happiness within themselves. So please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you a shadow card. Still lots of abundance and blessings to be had. This energy is good on the back end. But let's get you a shadow card. Let's see what's in the shadows for Gemini. I'm going to shuffle it up one time. My guides talk to me. What do we got in the shadows for my friends? And I always like to pull this last card at the very end. I feel like it's very introspective and a nice thing to take a look at. So let's see what's in the shadows for my friends, please. And I like using the Shadowland Tarot for it. I feel like it fits the vibe, what we're going with. What's in the shadows, whether it's within yourself or something you don't quite see. Okay, we have the Eight of Cups, another action card. Now we're talking about the internal when we're looking at the shadows. Okay, for some of you, you might be tempted to give up on things in this time, so just beware of that. Or there could be something within you where when certain things happen, you get a flight response. The Eight of Cups is generally somebody walking away from something. So as a shadow, I feel like for some of you, you might be having flight responses in this time, or that's something that's coded within you. Okay, but another thing I think of when I see this Eight of Cups is somebody that might have issues in regards to feeling left alone or abandoned. So hopefully nothing has happened in the past. I don't want to get too dark, too deep here. You know what the Eight of Cups represents, but I do feel in this time, you might be tempted to give up on certain things. So just keep that in mind as you go throughout the week. Even if there's nothing like that happening right now, there might be something worth pursuing or continuing when this card shows up in the shadows. So Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. For the August subscriber surprise, I'll be picking 3 winners for 3 different tarot decks. It will be a winner's choice this month. So if you want the Gilded Tarot, it's your choice. If you want the Witch's Tarot or anything under $40 US, 3 winners will be chosen. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments what you think is the best use for tarot. Speaking to spirit, shadow work, inner work, confusion. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, in August, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love. I'll see you soon.